Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Invin. Today I am going to be bringing you guys a quick video on how to use the kitchen or the cooking stations in settlements in New World. Now this is kind of a confusing thing because there's a lot of different things going on inside it, but once you learn what's going on here, it's actually quite straightforward and simple, and it makes the game a lot better because there's a lot of bonuses you can get from food in this game, which make you gather things quicker, get more drops from things, and generally have better stats overall, which is really nice, and it's a great little addition to the game. So once you learn out how to use it properly, it can be very advantageous for you. Now, as you can see at the top of my screen here, we've got recipes from quests, and these are simply ones that I've picked up from the town quest boards, and they are things that I need to be able to gather the resources down here to craft. Once I've got those resources, I can craft them, and as you can see, they do give a very good amount, just under the can't craft in the bottom right here, amount of cooking XP. So it's a really good way to level up your cooking XP. Some are more than others, and you know, it kind of depends on what you're actually managing to cook there and how much materials it takes. So like this one is quite easy to get these materials. These ones are a lot more difficult to obtain, and that's why they give more XP. And this works the same for your armor crafting stations and armor crafting stations as well, when you do get those quests from the town quest board too. Now moving on to the actual cooking itself, you've got basic cooking here, which every player will have unlocked from level 1 and 2 and level 0 here, as you can see. The light rations can be pretty much any raw resource of tier 1. You can use this to make a light ration. Then you've got travel rations, which can be made by any tier 2 resource with any tier 1 resource, or any tier of any resource. To be honest, they can just be made into a food there, and this one gives you 60 health per second over 20 seconds and awards 1% every 2.5 seconds for 20 minutes. This one is only 40 and only 1%, so it's a little better to make the travel rations if you can, but the light rations are still very good, as they're very easy to obtain the materials for. Now do not make the mistake that I made where thinking energizing rations were better. These are simply for stamina or mana regen rather than just the actual health itself. I made a ton of energizing light rations and travel rations off the start of this game, and then realized that it's mana regen rates, and I'm playing a melee DPS character which doesn't really use mana, so it was a bit of a mistake. Make sure that you only go for the travel and light rations if you want in health. Energizing is for mana only. If you are a caster, then this is great for you though as well, so you can use that there. Then you've got baits. This is for fishing, so you can go ahead and craft some fishing baits if you want to do that at this station as well. And then this is where we get onto the good stuff. Once you've got your cooking leveled up to around 21 plus, you will see here that I have access to several different foods in categories: strength food, dexterity food, intelligence food, focus food, constitution food, and trade skill foods. Now there is more as you go further down as well, which we'll get onto later in this guide here, but there's a ton more stuff you can make. You've then also got dyes all down here, which is the different coloured dyes you can make, and crafting components which can be used to make higher tier food. So looking at the strength foods here, you can see if you click into it, you need 4 pork, which is obtainable, and it tells you their ingredients: tier 1 raw meat, raw food, and it's derived from boars and pigs. You can then see that you need cooking oil, cinnamon, which is from herb plants, cooking oil, which is from a tier 2 kitchen, and an apple, which is obviously a provisions container material, and this is a tier 5 raw food, so this is quite a rare drop to get. Now this cooking oil is, like I mentioned there, from a tier 2 kitchen. It's a ingredient that you can pick up, and if you go down here, you can see cooking oil is something that you can make. You need 2 fish oil and 1 nut per one. I have 8 nuts right now, so if I got the fish oil, I could then make this and be one step closer to being able to craft that pork chop and applesauce recipe there. Now it's the same going along for all of them, and you can just see each one increases different things. But if you look here, this food, when you hover over it, it says increase strength by 10 for 25 minutes, and your health slowly recovers while under these effects. So it's like a double thing. It gives you slow health regen and increases your strength stat by 10, which is really nice, because that's a huge boost and will increase your outgoing damage by a ton for 25 minutes. Now if you are going to be doing anything like expeditions or a particularly hard story quest, or any quest in general that you find it difficult, make some of these foods, or get someone in your company or someone on your server to make these foods, or buy them off the market, whatever you want to do, and these are going to be really useful. And as you can see, each one does slightly different. So this one, the garlic steak here, is increased strength by 6 and dexterity by 4. This one is strength by 6 and intelligence by 4, etc, and these go up and have different effects. And it's the same for dexterity. You can get dexterity and strength, dexterity on its own, with intelligence, with constitution, and with focus. And it's the same for all of these foods. You can go ahead and just look at these. The only one that's slightly different is the focus foods, which is the venison jerky. You can go ahead, and I could make one of those now, and that is focus by 6 and strength by 4 for 25 minutes, and that's the only one I've got unlocked right now, because these are higher level foods to craft. Now again, you've got trade skill foods, which can be used to increase your luck when mining. This one is, so the roasted potatoes is when you are mining by 1,000 points for 20 minutes. corn is for harvesting, roasted carrots is for skinning, roasted cabbage is for logging, and then you've got herb roasted potatoes, which is an extra 400, so it's 1400 points while mining for 25 minutes, and so on with the cornbread, the herb roasted carrots, and the boiled cabbage. Now this, again, once you get higher level, you've got better versions of these, and like I said, a lot of these will require some sort of crafting component or food component that you need to craft down here in this section to then add into the recipes up top. So if you can't see it and you hover over an ingredient, for example saffron, you can hover over that and it says derived from herb plants, but if you hover over it like the cooking oil and it says derived from kitchen tier 2, that means that you need to get a food component made from here in order to be able to craft that. Now if we do go down and have a quick look at some of the unlearned ones, I'm not going to go through all of them because as you can see there is absolutely tons, but if we just go ahead and go down to some of these hearty meals, for example, this is recover 220 health per second for 20 seconds, and then this recovery stops if damage is taken. Afterwards you recover 1% of your health every 2.5 seconds for 20 minutes. It's going to be a really good health regen food, but that does require 150 levels in cooking, so it's going to take quite a while to get to that point. Now if we go scroll a little bit further up, we can maybe see some of these other ones which you might be interested in here, such as melon infusion increases your minimum gear score when crafting dual crafting items by 10. So again, for crafting, super good item. You've got herb roasted squash, which is minimum gear score when crafting engineering items by 10. So for those late game players or those mid game players that are starting to push into those tier 3, 4, and maybe even some people pushing into those tier 5 crafting abilities, when you are actually doing that, you can use one of these foods, which is really going to help boost those stats for you, and you're going to be able to get a ton more out of those, and obviously be able to sell them for a lot more if you do want to, but also get a lot more base stats for yourself when you're crafting off some of these later on foods. And things like this here, the venison pot roast increases focus by 10 for 25 minutes. These all go up. Again, more focused foods. I haven't learned all of these yet, but you get these as you increase your cooking level, and it makes the game a ton better because you can get so many stat boosts, which are really going to help you out in questing, in PvP, PvE, dungeons, or expeditions, I should say, or anything else that you're doing in the game. Literally gathering, refining, crafting, everything can be boosted by food in some variety, so you're definitely going to want to make sure you go ahead and get on the cooking as soon as you can, and make sure that you're taking advantage of these stat boosts. Hopefully this video has helped you out. If it has, please do make sure to leave a like on the video down below, so it'd be much appreciated. And if you are interested in seeing more New World content from my channel, then please do drop a subscribe down below, so it'd be much appreciated. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, take care, and peace.